to start.
Rock concert movement number 1.
Oh.
The basic head bob. Ready, go.
Welcome to winter is officially here, I think. I know you're not feeling it because you took the kids outside. That was like all throughout Des Moines yesterday. Children everywhere were running outside way too early on a weekend morning. Like, is your neighborhood full of like half-melted snowmen now? And
We have one in our front yard.
oh, so no wonder you're sick.
Yeah, I didn't go outside with them. I just watched from the window.
On Saturday, we broke the record for longest period without snowfall, 279 days. And, of course, on Sunday, we get just enough snow to be annoying. And by annoying, I mean cause children to go outside. And for those of us who are late sleepers on the weekend, okay, and other times, they're loud, they're running around, making a bunch of noise. And for parents out there, take us outside. Oh, God, no, it's cold. Like a wind chill of 4 last night.
Yeah,
Like,
it got pretty cold.
like, you blink. Wasn't it like 60 like a week ago? Now it's subarctic out there. I did find out my dog hates snowmen. Took him out to, do his business. And, of course, he wants to, like, snow, let's hop around until his feet get cold. And my dog is half wiener dog, so he's a little longer. You've seen Vader. He's a little longer than your average terrier. He can actually stand on his front 2 feet. And I have the laws of physics should make that impossible. But I've seen him do it because his feet get cold.
On his front two?
Yeah. I have no idea.
Because I got a half Basset, half Shar-Pei, and he can walk upright.
Well, yeah.
But for extended periods of time, like it's not off balance. He's just...
Yeah, Vader's got good balance when he...
It's because I think it's because they're long dogs that they're able to...
But you'd think they wouldn't be able to, because the feet are pretty far forward.
Yeah, you would think. I don't know.
He can do it.
I could see my dog being able to do that.
It's the damnedest thing.
That's funny.
It weirds me out, because, like, what are you... He's possessed.
As long as his head doesn't spin all the way around, I think you'd be all right.
It kind of does, especially if you say, like, food, treat, steak, meat.
On my dog, the skin's so loose because he's part Shar-Pei that you can grab a hold of him and he can turn around in his own skin.
Oh.
It's pretty funny.
God. Wow. I'm remembering my grandparents. Thanks a lot for that. All right, phone number is 244-0077. Email address, radiobradshaw@gmail.com. And follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/radiobradshaw. Just go to thebradshawshow.com for almost all of your Bradshaw needs. Heads up, by the way, today is the day. Windsor Heights traffic cameras officially online. It seemed to be standard operating procedure. You're going to get 30 days of warnings. I assume this is system calibration and real world testing and the like, but you're going to get 30 days of warnings before they officially go online and start sending tickets January 14th. So today, that's the 1300 block of 73rd Street, southbound, and westbound on Washington in Windsor Heights. And I wonder, though, while they're doing this 30-day grace period, will they put one of the cameras up on 235? Which, I don't know, they probably won't say this out loud, but is their goal. Because remember, this whole episode started when Windsor Heights tried to get, because they, have jurisdiction over 0.8 of a mile of 235. And they wanted to put in a speed camera.
On both lanes.
Yeah. Oh, did they want...
Both lanes.
Yeah, because right now it's just eastbound.
Yeah.
Westbound, do whatever you want.
Yeah, they wanted both lanes. Yeah, I was driving to my dad's house yesterday in Windsor Heights, and I was going super slow because I didn't realize they weren't online yet.
Yep, they come on.
And I realized, where are they going to hide these things? I knew they couldn't be out because there's in the 3 blocks it is Windsor Heights. You'd had to have seen one of them.
Well, and I was wondering that because normally the cops will sit perpendicular to whatever road and gun you as you go by, but these cameras need to see you coming and going. So you're just gonna put this thing on the side of the road? Or you're just gonna park it up on the grass or something?
Well, and Windsor Heights has so many streets. They're because it's blocked like that.
Yeah.
If you see the speed camera, just turn. Because it's got to see you coming and going. Because it takes your speed,
And
then when you pass it, it takes your license plate number.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. That's the way I treat
where
the
are they
Des Moines
going to
ones.
put them?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll have to do a drive-by, I guess, on the way home.
Well, now you know.
Since
you
it's
go,
safe for the next 30 days.
say you can go like 100 past them right now, and see how many tickets you could have gotten or something.
Do people do that?
Well, I know people that do that on those those radar signs where it gives your speed.
Yeah, those have always been might as well test things out. I know people who test like.
I don't know that I would play with the speed cameras because you might wind up with like a reckless driving ticket or something if you weren't.
Yeah, I don't know what they do with that. Can they give you anything other than a speed ticket with those? I don't think so. Like an officer could.
No, I was in a...
Like that would almost be devilishly clever, is to have an officer, opposite these things, trying to catch that guy.
Yeah. Well, and I was in Davenport this weekend. Sorry, I didn't really want to be there. Yeah, but they have their red light cameras now tuned to be speed cameras, so they're speed and red light.
The Des Moines ones are upgradable.
Yeah, I know they are, but
the way they're set now, they have two modes: either red light running, or they also have a license plate scanning mode, which I don't think they've ever used before. But it turns off the red light camera function and just scans every license plate in case of an Amber Alert or...
They want to pick up a bunch of people driving without license.
No, you mean to look for something specific.
Sure.
Like it'll you're not going to have someone go through every single license plate that, But if you're looking for a specific one.
It's kind of scary technology. I mean, on one side, I think it's great that we have something like that. The other, it's like, man, I don't really want them knowing everything I do just for the sake of not having them know.
Yeah, I don't like it's
too much Big Brother.
The where we're headed, because it starts with red light cameras, then it goes to speed cameras. Let's put remember and
then we end up being Britain.
It was vandalism is a huge problem in Des Moines. Like it is. So that was should we put security cameras everywhere? Well, no.
Please no.
But we hype these problems, and all of a sudden, magically, hey, cameras are the solution to put them everywhere. I do think I've seen Branstad, weigh in on everything from death penalty to taxes. I haven't seen him say too much about the cameras, but I know there was a push last year to just do a statewide ban. Let's take care of the State House. Let's take it out of Windsor Heights' cold, dead hands.
Yeah, I say greedy little hands.
I was going to go with the gun thing, the cold, dead.
I'd just go with greedy. They're more like Gordon Gekko greedy.
There you go. Gordon Gekko, slick back hair hands. Let's take the decision-making out. I mean, I'm sorry. We're putting them now, throughout Polk County. That was something that the sheriff ran on. Considering he won against kind of his wingnut opponent. You knew that was coming. Board of Supervisors on board. And in this case, Democrats are going to have to do the heavy lifting if we want to get a ban put forth. I think there's enough Republicans that it would take a handful of Democrats to push things over the line. And then would Branstad sign it? My guess is he would. I wouldn't say that with 100% certainty. And let's get rid of them. Because Windsor Heights, shows us the way. You can be turned down by the Department of Transportation. It has to be something other than just a naked revenue grab. Even if it is actually a naked revenue grab, you don't call it that. Windsor Heights couldn't get past the Department of Transportation, so they decided to take matters into their own hands. As long as you have a mobile unit, it's fine. They just didn't have the permit, to build one. So maybe it's time to call your state rep, call your state senator, and just say, hey, you know what? And again, this was one that falls on Democrats. because it's going to be like an algae bloom. They're going to start popping up everywhere. And again, I'm not asking, the ability to do 100 down 235, because that went away in the 90s. Not that I ever did that, because that would be wrong. Lord knows I've never flipped a car on 235. Oh, wait. But I have, I don't think any officer would have a problem with this. It was a week ago Friday. There was a pickup truck, or no, it was a dump truck, 235 or 8035. I was on my way home. And this thing, I didn't have I don't know anything about dump trucks, but the back was dumping sand. Not in like a snow prevention way, like someone didn't close all the latches. And to get around that guy, I would have to exceed the speed limit. To get around him faster, as much as I enjoy my car getting sandblasted, less time equals better than, I have to punch it. Now, that's something I can explain to a live human being. In fact, there was a state trooper, thankfully, finally pulled the guy over to get that taken care of because he was being unsafe. But how many times do you run across a driver that is texting? You see, especially at night, you can see the little light square, and you got to punch it to get around that guy. When I lived on Hickman, on Highway 6 there, especially in inclement weather, there were times where, by the skin of my teeth, I didn't set off those cameras because you get to a decent rate of speed and then you just slide through. It's kind of a dicey road that becomes an ice trough if the weather isn't right. My screen isn't working here. Who's on the phone? Oh, can you just fire it on? I can't get to it here.
It's Ron.
Oh, throw Ron on. What's going on, Ron?
How big the club is of people who go out of their way to avoid Windsor Heights because they've been burnt by a traffic ticket there.
Well, that's me. I know the anecdote does not equal data, but I avoid the area.
So do I.
And I think a lot of people do. And it was kudos to Channel 13. That was kind of the basis of their Windsor Heights speed camera story. I was talking to, it was a barber shop and a tattoo parlor. So they've got the area covered. But saying, yeah, we don't like this. And for whatever reason, the city council, the governance of Windsor Heights, ignores that. And I guess, the pros outweigh the cons to them. Maybe the cons haven't been made clear.
Well, they may have the numbers, but all I know is that I was in a fender bender, and it was kind of on a precarious line between Urbandale and Windsor Heights. And first it was an Urbandale officer who came, and he seemed to be a nice enough guy, and he realized it was an accident, and it was because everyone was in the sun. But then he said, well, this is in Windsor Heights jurisdiction. So Windsor Heights shows up, and by the time that officer left, I had a ticket in my hand.
Surprise.
And it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to pay for this, and Windsor Heights is going to pay for it because I'm not going to go out of my way to visit Windsor Heights.
Well, and that's the other thing, that if you are someone who shops, does business there, obviously the city itself has shown over the course of decades that they don't care. So maybe it's time to make the case, clearly, hey, you know what? Sorry. Like your business, like what you're doing. Want to go to the Rookie, like the, Windsor Heights Hy-Vee, but I'm going to go shop somewhere else. I'm going to go do something else because it's not worth the stress, the hassle, what have you.
I don't know if it's worthwhile making a case to the Windsor Heights Merchants Association or Chamber of Commerce or whoever they got going over there, that a lot of people just rather not contribute to the municipal fund there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the only way, short of the state legislature, of getting it taken care of. At this point, and again, Windsor Heights has been a speed trap for decades.
It's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even like, I can, well, I don't condone. I can understand some small town, like, on I-80, or, that has, a Highway 20 or a 30 through it, where they are particularly aggressive. Like, I understand that, even if I don't agree with it. Windsor Heights, though, is just, it's kind of, it's just a suburb. There's no reason for it. It's not like there's anything particularly delicate in that area. They have areas, that are 25 miles per hour that probably shouldn't be. And they've shown, and for years, it's almost the reason for existence. So perhaps it's time to discourage them by taking it out of their hands. And, calling your state rep, calling your state senator, and getting things taken care of this way. Because people have been making fun of Windsor Heights, and people have been avoiding Windsor Heights for years. And it hasn't discouraged them. I think these new mobile cameras out there have shown that. So I would...
it's tough because sometimes you got to go through Windsor Heights to get from point A to point B. But it makes me think twice if I can get something somewhere else of visiting a business in Windsor Heights. If I think that, Windsor Heights traffic trap, speed trap, maybe I can go somewhere else. I mean,
yeah, I don't want to have to eye my speedometer like a hawk, because if I'm doing 27, danger.
Right.
I'm not saying you don't pull over people doing 45 in a school zone. But you pull people over for, breaking the law flagrantly. You don't pull people over doing 2 miles an hour over, 3 miles an hour over. And I've been pulled over for doing 27. Didn't always get a ticket, but it's not a hassle I want to deal with. So I just avoid the area. And I assume as news, propagates, not always quickly, that these cameras are out, they're on the move, and they're watching you. The one thing most people can't avoid is 235. And if Windsor Heights is hell-bent for leather on, getting their pound of flesh, well, then it's time to take the decision out of their hands.
Yeah. Well,
and again, I hold no malice to businesses in Windsor Heights. I just don't want to go there. Sorry, Dunkin' Donuts. Sorry. I don't know how many bars have been in that former ski chalet place. But that whole area, I can go to a different Bebops. I've got one closer to me now, so I'm set there. I'll just avoid the area.
Well, that just seems to be the thing to do. And I don't know if, like you said, apparently it's a Windsor Heights cultural tradition. So what are you going to do?
Well, it is. They've been at it for decades, and when I talk to police officers, it's inevitably something that comes up. Just because I've learned over the years that it's the easiest way to get a chuckle out of a cop is to mention Windsor Heights. Like, even to law enforcement, they are a joke.
Yeah. Well, it's too much to ask, because you'd be asking a Windsor Heights cop to cross the blue line, and no cops do that, and generally. But it'd be nice to have at least someday a Windsor cop come out and say, yeah, we're pushed to really get gung-ho on speed tickets. That's kind of like our main function.
Yeah, I doubt you're going to hear an officer ever say anything like that, at least to a civilian. But you talk to, Polk County Sheriff, and you talk to Des Moines cops, and they just, they laugh. Because Windsor Heights, it's reason to exist. Yeah. And I love, the police, our officers are very busy. All right, how many of us have driven past how many Windsor Heights cops in our time just sitting there in a residential zone, camera on, doing the crossword puzzle or Sudoku or reading a book? Maybe that last one's a bit of a stretch, but you get what I'm saying. They're just sitting there. Mm-hmm. And that is, goal A+1 in Windsor Heights. So I don't know I don't know where you live. I mean, are you represented by Democrats in the State House and State Senate?
Oh my goodness, I'm in Johnston, and
oh, never mind.
And it's kind of it's awful. I actually have.
Never mind. They're probably already on board, but it certainly wouldn't hurt to make a phone call.
I have Stalker Boy as my state senator. You know what I'm talking about.
Wait, which one? That doesn't narrow it down these days.
Oh, Zahn.
Oh, well, yeah. Don't show up at his house late at night banging on his door.
Yeah.
You could be worse, man. I got Jake Highfill, so.
Yeah. So I don't even know how he. Well, one of his ideas apparently was at one point that he thought that public education should be entirely handled by local authorities, and which really puzzles me how he then incorporated Johnston, because if there's one thing we like in Johnston, we like a well-funded public education system.
Yeah, well, luckily, he lays off that. But I've got him and Jake Highfill, so I'm kind of, I assume everyone's on board. But if you're represented by Democrats, look, this is one area we are the stumbling block.
Yeah,
it was the Democratic county sheriff candidate who was running around saying speed cameras in Polk County. It was the Democrats on the Polk County Board of Supervisors that signed off on it. So this is an area where we need to speak up.
No.
Because you're going to get more of this. It's too easy money.
Yep, and they're all starving for money. They're all looking for revenue enhancers, that's for sure.
Yeah, all right, Ron, I appreciate the call. Yeah, my point here is that I want to go crazy and speed all over the place, and I want to, suck down a handful of Quaaludes, chugging wood alcohol, driving, speeding in reverse down Windsor Heights streets or anything. But I think, again, this is something I thought we were, I didn't think it needed to be stated, but the human element in law enforcement. Yes, I understand that pendulum swings both ways. But you generally want to curb the baser impulses. In the case of Windsor Heights, it's get every single speeding dollar we can get. I don't want to deal with it. So at this point, sorry, Windsor Heights businesses, I'm not going there. I'm going to encourage other people not to go there. I need to call your state rep. This is a handy out. How many people actually know who their state rep is or their state senator is? But maybe it's time to give them a call. Legislative session's coming up, and who knows? Maybe they'll spend less time talking about gay people getting married, or, I don't know, some extra special way to kill doves, and we could deal with this issue instead. All right, 244-0077. Email radiobradshaw@gmail.com. When we come back, the Republicans are going trophy hunting. What happens when you can't get what you actually want? I'll explain. And I would hope this is common knowledge on the left, so this is really just for our righty friends out there. The grifters and the con men, well, the right has a bit of a parasite problem. I will try to help you delouse, because I think it's good for everyone. Just do a little delousing. I'll explain when we come back. Here on The Bradshaw Show. TheBradshawShow.com, a webcast one live. Thanks for watching. We'll be back right after this.
Leach, owner and general manager of Service Legends. I brought along a couple of the home comfort heroes.
Hi, I'm Tammy Wells.
I am Nick Wondershad.
I'm administrative manager.
I'm the senior technician
from Service Legends.
It seems like every good thing, when you feel it to the bone that it's good, there's a lot of hard work put behind it. I don't think that you can fake it and have it turn out good.
If we seem like, okay, that's just weird, it's just a furnace, why would you believe so deeply in a furnace? It's not just that, we want to show the world that you can have good service.
Yeah, it's got to be, it's your home.
It's built into our daily trainings, it's built into our culture. that we're going to do whatever it takes to have each client say they love us, period.
That's why we spend all the hours in the training that we do. And if we guarantee it's going to be a good experience for you, or else it's free, what type of work do you think we're going to do?
There is a guarantee.
Temperature selection guarantee, fixed rider it's free guarantee, comfort guarantee, best value guarantee. All of these guarantees hold us accountable to ensuring that we exceed your expectations. And if for whatever reason we'd fail and we can't make it right, we guarantee all of those guarantees with a 100% money back guarantee.
I mean, if you don't think that your technician can fix it right, are you going to say that to a client? No.
You don't have to worry about having a technician come to your house.
We drug test, background check all of our team members. We put safe people in your home. Each and every one of our service techs, 400 hours a year in training.
You tell it the minute they walk in the door. They know what they're doing, they've done their homework, and they actually truly care about what you want.
Because at the end of the day, you're the person that makes sure I have a job.
Hey Dan, what's the password?
They're
It's
going to want to know
hope.
what your challenges are. Then they're going to come and give you options, and you get to choose.
If I'm there to help and I make it easy and painless, I did my job right that day.
Well, when it comes to your comfort, safety, and your family, you don't necessarily go buy the most expensive, but you get the most bang for your buck.
Oh, it's worth it, because there's a lot of people that will find a way to get it to work right now and then leave and then come back, charge you again, and the cycle just repeats itself. So when I'm out there looking at the furnace, I want to find why it failed today. How can we change the part today with something that you're not going to have to worry about? Is it worth changing the part today? I mean, you can put a lot of money into a furnace. I can fix parts all day. There's good job security in that for me, but is it the right thing for you?
I get a lot of the phone calls of after the technicians are there. They're just in awe. They're like, wow, you guys are great. I mean, I don't even know what to say. You guys are great. Everything you did was perfect. It was great.
Keep going though, I like this.
Just give us a try. I'm going to take all the risk.
I've got the time to make this right. I've got the support to make it right.
Just check us out.
And if you don't see the value in what we do,
I mean, fixed rider, it's free or 100% money back.
enough said.
Start.
Now we're on.
Rock concert movement number 1.
157. It's Bradshaw
Ready, go.
here on the Bradshaw Show. BradshawShow.com has all the content, show archives,
It's time to start.
all of that.
It's time to start.
It is still time to start.
It's time to start.
Trying to give people seizures or something. Phone number is 244-0077. An email, radiobradshaw@gmail.com. And I am an absolute feedback junkie. Always curious what people have to say. All right, so Fiscal Cliff Talks. Ongoing. And I'm not sure any progress is going to be made. For one simple reason. Ezra Khan kind of lays this out today, that Republicans don't know what they want. On Friday, we talked, it was the president making the number one mistake in negotiations, that is, negotiate with someone who has the ability to make a deal. The second part of this is, what do they want? Because right now, the only one specific thing that Republicans want is, cut taxes. And that's simply not a reality. Like, you can go in and negotiate with your boss. Right? It's Christmas time. I want a Christmas bonus. I want a raise. It's performance review time. Now, you could say, you know what, my one unbreakable, I'm going to need at least $1 million a year. How's that going to go over? Probably not all that well. It's outside the realm of reality. And right now, tax cuts, especially for that top 1%, top 2%, are out. So what do you do when the one thing you want, and don't kid yourself, whether it's playing with Medicare, playing with Social Security entitlement, there really only are two things Republicans are for: funneling more money to business, that top 2%, and cutting taxes for rich people. Everything else is just, kabuki theater. So it's hard in a fiscal cliff deal to funnel more money to your friends and allies. But that certainly is their motivation in avoiding the fiscal cliff in the first place, and that is it cuts military spending, a good chunk of which goes to our fun friends in the defense industry. So there's a little incentive on their part to actually get a deal done. And remember, this is a mess that they entirely started. They thought it was a good idea to hold the debt ceiling hostage. I would love to see how many Michelle Bachmann fans, how many Steve King fans actually know what a debt ceiling does. It is a relic that is probably best to get rid of, but that's another topic for another time. This was the deal. This was the, to avoid that hostage situation. We make ourselves an emergency, and then we have to make, tough decisions. And from the looks of it, at least from the outside, for now, it looks like the president is avoiding his lesser instincts that were at work in 2011 when he offered up everything from Medicare and Social Security, TRICARE cuts as part of a $4 trillion package. It looks like that ship has sailed. But one of the things Ezra Klein talks about is Republicans are demanding $600 billion in health care savings. Makes sense. Except they have no specifics. They want someone else to do that heavy lifting. Remember, this was the party that ran just a month ago. We're going to defend Medicare and Social Security. Well, now they're asking for cuts. Republican staffers say they need more time to come up with specific cuts, and for that matter, specific tax reforms. Now, this is part of a 2011 debt deal. If you need more time, perhaps governing isn't your forte. So, over the weekend, I don't know if this is a head fake. I don't know if this is pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. But this weekend, everywhere you went, it was raising the Medicare age. And I think Nancy Pelosi was dead on. I don't say that on. Probably don't say it enough. This is Republican trophy hunting. They need a scalp. And willing to completely ignore any real-world consequences. They just want a scalp. And I don't know if this is the one they're aiming for or if this is a negotiating ploy. But this is from the Ezra Klein piece again. Raising the Medicare eligibility age doesn't increase competition in Medicare, as some variant of premium support might. It doesn't reduce national health spending, as Medicare is cheaper than equivalent private insurance. It increases it. It doesn't force seniors to act as more discerning consumers of health care, and it doesn't substantially pare back the nation of takers, as many of the 65 and 66-year-olds thrown off Medicare will enter exchanges or be caught by Medicaid. Again, this is the stupidity of your modern-day GOP, because you can raise the age, which saves an absolute negligible amount that you're going to make up on the flip side because, A, the poorest of the poor are going to be picked up by the Medicaid net, so they'll be fine. The richest of the rich are taken care of either, by being wealthy or having, there are plenty of lawyers over the age of 65 who still have those Cadillac plans. It's those middle-income seniors. You make enough money to not get the the Obamacare premium support, but don't have enough to self-fund. And the funny thing is, who's going to pick up the cost for these new people entering the private system? Us, as older, sicker people enter the risk pool. Well, that affects you or I. That's the effect of this scalp. And I gotta say, I am perfectly fine with making cuts to Medicare. Caveat, asterisk, important footnote. There are plenty of smart ways to do it. The simplest one, which would save far more than raising the eligibility age, which will cause, actual human suffering, something I try to avoid in my own daily life. Just bargain for cheaper drug prices. But Republicans will never let that happen in a million years because it would be an example of the free market, which, they hate in reality. Remember when Chuck Grassley and friends put together Medicare Part D, prescription drug coverage? By law, Medicare can't negotiate for cheaper drug prices. The same way that Walmart and Target or even Hy-Vee can. We can't use our immense buying power to get a deal. Why? Well, because, again, Medicare Part D wasn't about helping seniors. It was about taking a large, money funnel and pointing it towards the pharmaceutical industry. Why else would you go and make it intentionally more expensive? And so now to save, pennies, we're going to spend more nickels and dimes on health insurance to provide a scalp. We want cuts. We won't tell you what they are. We just want cuts. Ball's in your court. I still think the best thing for the president to do is put his hands up, put his feet up on the desk, and say, no offense, if John Boehner is truly the one making the decision here, which I doubt, but he's the face of the negotiations, make me an offer. Otherwise, why not? Let the deal blow up. And then you come back in January and you say, let's get to work on the Obama tax cuts. And a few House Republicans have let it be known through various channels that a middle-class tax cut probably would pass the House. The question at this point is, would Republicans in the Senate allow it to even come for a vote? And that, I think, may be the best sign of hope and maybe the best thing to come out of the 2012 elections. Brian emails radiobradshaw@gmail.com. Harry Reid is able to change some of the filibuster rules. Would it then be easier for Obama to fill all the vacant judicial positions that Republicans have been blocking? Or would Republicans find another way to obstruct the Obama administration? Be able to fill a large number of district and appeals court openings that would be one of Obama's strongest legacies. Yes. Depending on the form that filibuster reform takes. I'm just a big fan of, hey, get up and read the phone book. But this was something I heard back in 2010, along with a lot of people on the left, and Harry Reid, now is not the time. Well, it's a couple years later, new Senate's coming in, and guess what? Harry Reid says now is the time. And for every fiscal filibuster that shows up, not enough attention is paid for the various appointees and judges, to the point where even John Roberts, who I know is, a traitor to the right. How dare he do his job in a nonpartisan way? That's just un-American. Remember, activist judge, kids, means a judge that did something I disagree with. Beginning, middle, and end of definition. But Republicans holding up this many judges, even, said John Roberts stood up and said, we have a problem here. We're creating too big of a backlog. Cases are taking too long to see a courtroom. We don't have enough judges. And certainly Republicans have looked for every excuse to make it worse, including announcing last fall, hey, you know what, an election's coming up, so we're not going to confirm any more judges just in case. I assume now that the election is over and settled, they're not exactly going to pick up the pace. Call it a hunch. Or educated guess. So filibuster reform is coming. Certainly not doing away with the filibuster. This isn't the nuclear option. But it's definitely time to fix the system. Because as we're seeing, whether it's during a presidential election or in negotiation, what do you do with a party that has no rudder? What do you do? How do you deal with a party that has no leader? Someone tell me, who is calling the shots for the GOP? Who is deciding policies? The Republicans in the House? Because at this point, you have Eric Cantor, who's got a knife to John Boehner's back. You have the Tea Party caucus. That, to Boehner's credit, is being purged and punished. Nobody but John Boehner puts Tea Party in a corner. But who's calling the shot? Again, who's in control? At this point, Alexander Haig might not be a bad option. At least he knows how to take control, even if it's, not constitutional. How do you deal with that party? I don't know if it's possible. They can't tell you what they want. They can't tell you what they certainly want to do, and they're not even 100% sure what they don't want you to do. Certainly precludes cutting a deal. So maybe the best deal is to not cut a bad one. All right, email me, radiobradshaw@gmail.com, and on the Twitter, twitter.com/radiobradshaw. When we come back, not all Republicans are clueless. Some have a very good idea of what they want to do. The bad news for our conservative friends and Fox News viewing mothers is what they're doing might not necessarily be in anyone's best interest but theirs. The long con. God explained when we come back. You're on the Bradshaw Show, a webcast one live. Thanks for watching. Back right after this.
I'm Brian Leach, owner and general manager of Service Legends. I brought along a couple of the home comfort heroes.
Hi, I'm Tammy Wells.
I am Nick Wondershot.
I'm administrative manager
I'm the senior technician.
from Service Legends.
It seems like every good thing, when you feel it to the bone that it's good, there's a lot of hard work put behind it. I don't think that you can fake it and have it turn out good.
If we seem like, okay, that's just weird, it's just a furnace, why would you believe so deeply in a furnace? It's not just that, we want to show the world that you can have good service.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be, it's your home.
It's built into our daily trainings, it's built into our culture, that we're going to do whatever it takes to have each client say they love us, period.
That's why we spend all the hours in the training that we do. And if we guarantee it's going to be a good experience for you, or else it's free, what type of work do you think we're going to do?
There is a guarantee.
Temperature selection guarantee, fixed rider it's free guarantee, comfort guarantee, best value guarantee. All of these guarantees hold us accountable to ensuring that we exceed your expectations. And if for whatever reason we'd fail and we can't make it right, we guarantee all of those guarantees with a 100% money back guarantee.
I mean, if you don't think that your technician can fix it right, are you going to say that to a client? No.
You don't have to worry about having a technician come to your house.
We drug test, background check all of our team members. We put safe people in your home. Each and every one of our service techs, 400 hours a year in training.
You tell it the minute they walk in the door. They know what they're doing, they've done their homework, and they actually truly care about what you want.
Because at the end of the day, you're the person that makes sure I have a job.
They're going to be listening. They're going to want to know what your challenges are. Then they're going to come and give you options, and you get to choose.
If I'm there to help and I make it easy and painless, I did my job right that day.
Well, when it comes to your comfort, safety, and your family, you know, you don't necessarily go buy the most expensive, but you get the most bang for your buck.
Oh, it's worth it, because there's a lot of people that will find a way to get it to work right now and then leave and then come back, charge you again, and the cycle just repeats itself. So when I'm out there looking at the furnace, I want to find why it failed today. How can we change the part today with something that you're not going to have to worry about? Is it worth changing the part today? I mean, you can put a lot of money into a furnace. I can fix parts all day. There's good job security in that for me. But is it the right thing for you?
I get a lot of the phone calls of after the technicians are there. They're just in awe. They're like, wow, you guys are great. I mean, I don't even know what to say. You guys are great. Everything you did was perfect. It was great.
Keep going though. I like this.
Just give us a try. I'm going to take all the risk.
I've got the time to make this right. I've got the support to make it right.
Just check us out.
And if you don't see the value in what we do,
I mean, fixed right or it's free or 100% money back.
enough said.
It's time to start.
Rock concert movement number 1. The basic head bob. Ready, go.
Bradshaw back with you here on an absolutely frigid Monday afternoon in the capital city. And I saw this, and at first thought it's humorous. And second, it's sad. Right now, I think epicenter of conservatism in this country. I don't think talking out of school by saying it's Fox News. Rupert Murdoch and Roger Ailes certainly have the power to make or break a candidate. We saw this with Chris Christie, who, for being a governor in a time of crisis, caught hell from the right. He was called on the carpet by Rupert Murdoch, and you know what? Did what Murdoch said. Such is the power of kingmaker. And certainly he's not successful in all things. Like, for example, his effort to recruit David Petraeus to be the Republican candidate for president in 2012. And boy, howdy, wouldn't have that been fun. But it's certainly a push. Now, while Hannity is a true believer, I mean, is Greta Van Susteren really a Republican? What about Bill O'Reilly? Got to start doing, tabloid TV. Kind of a glimpse into that. Jesse Waters, I don't know if he's gotten a promotion, but in the past, he's been the ambush boy. They would send Jesse Waters to go stick. We all love when 60 Minutes shows up in someone's front door. Right?
Or pops out from behind the screen door.
Yeah, and I have some questions for you. It's right up there with like a Chris Hansen, please have a seat.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah. Jesse Waters was kind of that guy, but instead of going after, tax cheats and pedophiles, he'd go after Democrats, which, of course, to conservatives, pretty much all in the same group. In fact, 1 week after the election, Jesse Waters, on the Bill O'Reilly program, said that Obama voters were zombies who supported the president as long as there was Obamacare, gay marriage, and abortion on demand. Now, that doesn't sound like an Obama fan to me. Like, if you're going to go on national TV and say these things, you're probably not a big fan of the president. One problem. we have his political donations. You want to guess where Jesse Waters sent $500?
I'm going to guess the Democratic Party of America.
Oh, far, far worse in the eyes of conservatives.
Oh, did he actually send
the Obama Victory Fund?
Well, maybe he's just a smart guy and knows where to put his money.
Well, he certainly knows how to bet on a winner.
Yeah, well.
But, like, why would you... Again, if it was not an act, how on earth does this make sense?
You know, I think there's some people that would probably split it. It'd be interesting to see if he gave any money to the other side, too. That would be the next question I have is, did he only...
Well, why would he split, though?
You know, some people think that it would look good either way because then they can claim...
Some like, you know, businesses...
He's positioning himself. Well, that's what I'm saying. He's positioning himself to say, I did this regardless.
If you're like a Citibank, that I understand. Because you're going to end up having to work with whomever is in power.
Yeah.
If you're a Wells Fargo or a defense contractor, right, you need to play, you know, with both sides, no matter who is calling the shots. You don't want to give enough to Democrats, to Republicans. You want to play even-handedly. But
sure.
A Fox News reporter.
Well, I'm just thinking here. I'm thinking out loud.
I don't think there's... Now, I would be willing... Now, of course, this would never happen. But his business probably succeeds greatly with Obama in the White House compared to a Republican.
Didn't Fox just can 2 of its guys or put them on the bench?
Put them on the bench.
Okay. Well, this guy maybe saw the writing on the wall, so to speak, and donated so that they wouldn't do that to him. Oh, no, look, I don't hate him that much. I donated to his campaign.
Rove and Dick Morris, who we'll talk about in just a second, didn't get benched for hating the president too much.
Well, they got benched for being completely wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah, I understand.
And embarrassing and hurting the product. And I would argue that with Fox's audience, this disclosure form is far more embarrassing than a horribly inaccurate prediction.
Well, it's very interesting anyway.
Well,
I guess I don't care whether somebody donated to the Obama campaign. How much did you give?
Little south of what Jesse Waters did, but I'm a dyed-in-the-wool liberal. I'm a card-carrying member of the ACLU. He's a Fox News attack dog who attacks Obama voters.
I'm just saying maybe you should have given more than the guy that doesn't even like the guy.
If I had more to give, I'd be more than happy to.
All right, I'll quit rabbit trailing.
You know, he's selling a product he doesn't even truly believe in. Or he's certainly not putting his money where his mouth is, at the very least.
It reeks of shyster.
Yeah, and I've been trying to get this through to people for years. And I'm not trying to get it through to people on the left because I don't think they fall for it. Or at least they're certainly not the built-up con. The grifting. And some of it is blatant, like Sarah Palin. Hey, send me money and I'll think about running for president. Most of it is far lower profile than that. Rick Perlstein actually has a piece called The Long Con. It's a couple months old at this point. My apologies for not finding it sooner. But he kind of lays out how, just one example, World Net Daily, right? It's your go-to place for birther conspiracies and Chuck Norris. I believe they just signed, was it World Net Daily that signed Rick Santorum to write content? And he said, if you sign up for updates, like, yes, I find your ideas intriguing and would like to subscribe to your newsletter. You'd be inundated not only with come-ons from political groups, but with innumerable offers for miracle cures for every ailment under the sun. Said the strategic alliance of snake oil vendors and conservative true believers points to evidence of another successful long march. Tactics designed to corral fleeceable multitudes all in one place. The formation of a cast of mind makes it harder for either them or us to discern where the ideological con ended and the money con began. And that's just one of any number of examples. But you mentioned Dick Morris, who is currently being outed as sort of a poster boy for this. up until about a week ago, when the memo went out that if you would like to book Dick Morris onto a Fox News show, you must get executive permission. He and Karl Rove were benched. Now, it turns out Morris is kind of a bad dude. On Thursday, his Super PAC for America, released its election commission paperwork. Super PAC for America paid Newsmax Media, conservative, roughly $1.7 million for fundraising in October and November. Where did a good chunk of that money from Dick Morris's Super PAC go? To rent out Dick Morris's own email list operated by Newsmax Media. So, you make the fundraising pitches. I'm Dick Morris, help defeat President Obama, send me money. Then he pays the money back to Newsmax for the advertising. And then Newsmax pays Dick Morris for access to the list. And the Super PAC paid for at least 25 emails to Newsmax.com's main email list during the period. So all of this money that is supposed to be going for conservative causes, to fight the good fight, to fight the evil black man in the White House, just gets funneled into the system. From Dick Morris to Newsmax, to Dick Morris to Newsmax. And you see this to some degree, whether it's, Steve King paying his kids $150,000 for consulting services, keeping it in the family. You see a lot of these PACs that, for example, and I don't know if they ever righted this ratio, but Sarah PAC spent more money on buying copies of Sarah Palin's book than they did giving to actual candidates. To keep appearances, they'll give, $1,000 Chuck Grassley and $1,000 to Steve King, the Palin-approved candidates. But then they'll spend, $60,000, $100,000 buying copies of a book. So, that they give you for a penny when you donate to the PAC. I mean, it's a genius con. And unlike three-card Monte, it won't get you kicked out anywhere. But people ask, how did Dick Morris end up this way? It wasn't just the toe-sucking deal. But he has, I was a Democrat. I will tell Republicans what they want to hear. And again, you would think at some point, again, if people see this over and over and over and over again, would get upset. Right? A rational mind would say, Fox News has been lying to me for months, years. They told me this election was in the bag. They told me it was tossable. They told me it was close. Why would these guys change their model? There's no accountability. And I don't point out that Dick Morris is trying to rip you off because I'm looking to save myself money. I'm never going to give money to Dick Morris. I'm never giving money to Newsmax, Sarah PAC, Crossroads GPS, you name it. That's strictly the realm of our conservative friends. They're the ones funding this $1.7 million for fundraising expenses. You're getting jobbed. They see you as marks, rubes, targets. And they're making millions off this. I'm accused all the time of, oh, you just hate Republicans, you hate conservatives, you think they're dumber than a box of rocks. What do you think your own leaders think about you? to pull off these sorts of schemes? Who hates you? Who thinks you're a gullible rube? Me, the guy trying to warn you about him? Or the guy taking millions of your dollars? Funneling it to his friends, who funnel it back to him. All right. Email me, radiobradshaw@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/radiobradshaw. And we'll reconvene tomorrow at 1:30 here on The Bradshaw Show on Webcast One Live. Thanks for watching. I will see you fine folks tomorrow. Stay warm.